The storm was relentless. Emily, Claire, Adam, and Nate were driving along a deserted road, trying to escape the endless rain that poured down in sheets. The wind howled, and the car's headlights barely cut through the mist. The college graduation road trip was supposed to be fun, but now it felt more like an obstacle course. "We're not going to make it to the next town, are we?" Claire asked, her voice a mix of concern and irritation. Nate, the optimist of the group, grinned. "Nah, we'll find a place. There's always somewhere to stop." Adam, who was driving, squinted through the rain. "There's a motel up ahead. Let's just take a break. We'll be fine." Emily, who had been scrolling through her phone, looked up. "Seriously, I'd rather sleep in the car than stay at some creepy motel." The car rolled to a stop in front of a dilapidated building that looked like it belonged in an old horror movie. The sign above the door was half faded, but it still read, "The Shadow Inn." "Well, here we are," Nate said, shrugging. "It's just a stormy night. Let's make the best of it." They reluctantly stepped out of the car, rain pouring down as they hurried inside. The innkeeper was a strange, old man who didn't seem to want to be bothered. He looked them up and down and grumbled. "Room 666 is all I got. You want it, you take it. But it's not for the faint of heart." Emily rolled her eyes. "Oh, great. Room 666. How original. Better than sleeping in the car," Nate said, leading the way to the room. The hallway was dimly lit, the flickering fluorescent lights casting long shadows on the peeling wallpaper. The door to room 666 creaked as Emily turned the knob, and the air inside felt heavy. Dust particles floated in the air like ghosts. The room was small, with a single bed, a nightstand, and a dresser. But something about it felt off. The bedspread was old and stained, and the window didn't seem to let in enough light. The silence in the room was oppressive, as if the walls were hiding something. "Charming," Claire muttered, dropping her bag on the bed. Adam laughed, trying to lighten the mood. "It's just an old room. Probably haunted by some grumpy ghost who never got his cup of coffee." Nate, always the curious one, moved to the mirror. "Hey, anyone else notice how weird the reflections are? Mine's a second behind." Emily glanced over. "Seriously, you're seeing things. It's just the lighting." But deep down, something felt wrong. The walls seemed to close in slightly, was the last and the air into the bathroom, brushing her hair in the mirror. Her reflection, however, didn't move when she did. Instead, it stared back at her, frozen. A chill ran down her spine. Guys?" Emily called, her voice shaky. She quickly looked away from the mirror. "I think I've had enough of this creepy place." Adam entered and saw her frozen, staring at the mirror. He waved his hand in front of her face. "What's up with you? You look like you've seen a ghost." I swear, my reflection didn't move with me," Emily whispered. The others gathered around the mirror, but when they checked, everything appeared normal again. "It's probably just some weird reflection thing," Adam said with a grin, trying to brush it off. But Emily couldn't shake the feeling that something wasn't right. While the others poked around the room, Claire opened the drawer in the nightstand. Inside, she found an old, decaying journal. Flipping it open, she found strange symbols and scribbled notes about summonings and pacts of shadows. Her eyes widened as she read the last entry, asterisk. "The chosen ones arrive at last. Their fate is sealed. Star. Guys. This is messed up," Claire said, voice trembling. Nate peeked over her shoulder. "What is that? A ghost story?" "Yeah, but it's not fiction. It feels real," Claire responded. Her eyes were wide, and she couldn't stop flipping through the pages. As the group gathered around, Emily noticed something even stranger. The journal had their names written on the very first page, in what looked like dried blood. As the group sat in the room, talking about the strange journal, Adam rolled up his sleeve. "It's not that bad, guys. Just some old hotel with a weird story. Relax." But when they looked at his arm, something caught their eye, a strange birthmark in the shape of a sigil that matched the symbol in the journal. "What the hell?" Emily gasped, pointing. "Dude, you've had that birthmark your whole life." Nate said, his voice shaky. You've never seen it like this? Adam looked confused. I've had this mark since I was a kid. It's just a weird birthmark. But Emily wasn't convinced. It looks exactly like the one in the journal. What if? Okay. We get it. Adam's part of some ancient curse. Great. Claire cut in, sarcastically. She tried to laugh it off, but everyone could tell her nerves to find something to prove that it was all just a coincidence, moved to the bed and pulled it up. Beneath it, he found a ritual dagger, black and old, with strange markings on the blade. It was as if it had been hidden there for years. This is way beyond weird, Nate muttered. Claire immediately grabbed his arm. I don't think we should touch it. Too late, Nate smirked. Who do you think I am? Someone who listens to spooky warnings? But something about the dagger made all of them uneasy. It felt cold and heavy, like it was filled with the weight of the past. The room suddenly plunged into complete darkness. The lights flickered once, then went out entirely. They heard nothing but the sound of their own breathing. Okay, this is bad. Really bad, Adam said, his voice tight. What's going on? Emily whispered. This is just a power outage, right? But the room felt different now. The shadows seemed to shift and move, no longer tied to their surroundings. I think we need to leave, Claire said, her voice trembling. I'll go check the fuse box, Nate said, trying to act brave, though his voice cracked. But when he opened the door, the hallway was empty. The door slammed shut behind him. When Nate returned, the room was strange. The air was colder, and the room seemed different. Emily noticed a small drawer in the nightstand she hadn't seen before. She opened it and gasped. Inside were photos of the group, but they were taken when they were children, all playing in the yard of the inn. The strangest part? None of them had ever been to this place before. This is getting out of hand, Emily muttered, clutching the photos. Suddenly, they heard a soft knock coming from the closet. It wasn't loud at first, just a faint tap. Everyone froze, staring at the door. Then, it knocked again. Okay, that's it. This place is definitely haunted, Claire said, voice quivering. I'm not opening that door, Nate said firmly. There's no way I'm getting closer to whatever's in there. As the minutes passed, the air felt thicker. Emily pulled out her phone to check the time. What time is it? She asked, her voice growing more anxious. No, that can't be right. The clock on the wall showed it was nearly midnight, but when they checked the phones, it was only 8 p.m. We've been here longer than we thought, Adam said, eyes wide. One by one, the friends began to disappear. Claire vanished into the shadows. Emily screamed her name but found nothing. Then Nate disappeared. Only Adam and Emily remained. And then silence. Emily's heart raced. We're next, aren't we? Emily finally learned the truth. The room was part of an ancient ritual, designed to trap souls for eternity. She was the final piece, a descendant of the ritual's original leader. Only her survival could end the curse, but at what cost? Emily made her choice, but the ending wasn't what anyone expected. She survived, but the others? They were never seen again. The pact was complete. The room's curse was lifted, but Emily would never be the same. The storm passed. Emily left the inn, a different person. As she drove away, she couldn't shake the feeling that someone was still watching. The laughter of her friends echoed in her mind. She had survived, but at what price? The room was empty now. Silent. Waiting for the next unsuspecting travelers.